and be back by, I can be back by next Thursday, next week. You want me to go get the truck and bring it in here? What else do you need?
Can I use my system?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't use this sink, but yeah, you could use the other. You have what, a couple bathrooms in here?
Grab those bags and we can back up to the truck.
Well, so are we gonna come back a different day, or are we gonna call someone else out? Because that's 3 bags and just 2 guys. Today? Yo, what's up, man? Fresh, first day on the job. What's poppin'? Just passed that Bud Light stocking.
Nice to meet you. Are those the only shoes you brought?
Yo, you like them? Y'all don't got AC?
Not out here.
That's us, bro. What's up, baby? What's it do? Man, it's gonna be me and you out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Slanging and banging. You and me all day, every day. What?
Fresh air.
Busting, bro. Man, what y'all got up in the fridge, dude? Oh, apple juice. You should get me on there, man, with a fit check. With the flat cap bill, rocking them Jordan 4s, right? With the Home Hero shirt. I've gone to shops where literally guys will pull me aside and be like, man, I love all this stuff you're teaching, but if I do this, I'll be out till midnight. They're just gonna give me more calls. And it's heartbreaking. It's like, man, what's the real goal here? Like, if I've got 12 tables in a restaurant and I can serve those 12 people and give them the best experience ever and I can be profitable, if I wanna make more money, I'm gonna add a 13th table. I'm not gonna add a 13th customer. Meaning I'm gonna increase my capacity. I'm not just gonna shove more people into my capacity. My room fits 56 people and I wanna sell more tickets to my event. I either have to increase the capacity or hold separate events. I can't put 115 people into a room of 57 people.
Tankless and a softener installed. They don't have either, and they've already been approved for financing.
What's that got to do? So you want me to go out there and do that call?
Well, they also say they've been having trouble with their sewer line and been wanting to replace it for a while, but they can't find somebody who they like to do it, but they think they trust us.
I don't want to have to work super hard to get it though. You want me to repipe the house, put it in the tankless, softener. You say something about a sewer line?
That's what it looks like. I think we should go check it out, man.
No, bro, this is ridiculous. And is this commission?
Yeah, I already talked to the owner about it. He wants to actually double your commission on it because it's such a big job.
No. So you want me to go out there, you want me to run this call, it's a bunch of work and a bunch of money or whatever, but it's also a bunch of taxes, and you're gonna have people out there helping me, watch me, do what I do, and then you want me to get it done faster so I make even more money, and then I have to, take another call because now I'm done by Thursday or something?
What else are you gonna be doing instead here, Steve? This is the job, man.
You got any odor smells or anything like that on there? Like maybe like in a different, maybe just... Why does on-call suck? Well, look, here's the thing. Most companies that do on-call 24/7 after hours, they don't treat it the same way they do during normal hours. They have a full staff and they have a full support system if someone calls between 8 and 5. But then after hours, they don't have a CSR, they don't have a supply staff, they don't have a lot of other things, and they want to go out and charge the same rates to the customer, if not even more, because they're doing after hours work. If you want to charge more and do on-call, then provide more service after hours. If you can't provide at least the same service that you provide during the day after hours, then you shouldn't do it. Think of it like an emergency room. Not every doctor is open after hours, but emergency rooms have a full staff after hours. Be an emergency room or be a doctor. But you gotta pick one and make sure that whatever you pick, you can service to the full. When there's no plumbers to hire, there's still a lot of plumbers that don't work for you working in your city. You're just not known enough. And so everybody tries to be just known enough because you don't want to overspend your marketing. And he goes, well, what do you do with all the money you spend on leads that you can't get to? And I'm like, well, what do you do with all the money you don't make when you're slow? See how this goes both ways? So I would rather spend a couple extra thousand every month and waste it and be known and have leads and momentum and be moving forward and I can hire into than to have that day, just one day when I'm slow. It'll be a couple grand in revenue off of one truck that we don't get.
It's that time again!
You've now entered the No Sale Zone.
No Sale Zone.
Where Chris Fresh,
the plumbing sales coach,
peels back the curtain of what sales really is. Buckle up. Buckle up and get ready to learn how to increase ticket average by providing better service. And now, your host,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
CF, the plumbing sales coach.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Fresh Approach. I'm your host, CF, the plumbing sales coach. And man, I got one for you tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the 3 things that are keeping you from success. Really, more importantly, the 3 things that are going to make you successful, depending on if you're doing them or not doing them. And we're going to cover that tonight. 3 things successful people are. And I cannot wait to get into that with you. Before we get too far into this, who do we got on here? We got Mary Sperlin. What's up? Blair McGann, or is it Chris McGann? Good to see you guys. Robert Avila in the house. Tyler Fresh saying, let's get this baby going. He says, excited for tonight. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us where you plumb. We got YouTube hopping on. We got Facebook hopping on. We'll give everyone here a few seconds before we really crack this thing open. But 3 things that are keeping you really from, it's a mental, like a mentality state. It's something that we do mentally. It's something that we can control. And it's definitely something that we could change right now. And I'm telling you right now that these are the things. You know, look, I didn't graduate high school. In fact, or I did graduate high school. I barely graduated high school. I didn't graduate college because I didn't go to college. If I went to your college, it was for a football game or something. I did not go to college. What's up, April Fresh? Good to see you. Jesus in the house from Puerto Rico, all the way from Puerto Rico. What's up? Good to see you. Patrick Fulton hopping on. Good to see you. Good to see you. I got to adjust this a little bit. I cannot quite see. There we go. Bam. Joey Cox in the house from Knoxville, Tennessee. What's up now? Everybody's hopping on. Shauna Dobbs, Mr. Potty. I got you guys right here, Mr. Potty. Look, right here. I got you. I got you, Shauna. We got, let's see who else we got in here. Vern watching from Warren, Michigan on Facebook. What's up? Good to see you. AJ Plum's in the house. He says, what's up? We got Brittany Briner. Brittany Briner, what's up? Good to see you. I gotta figure out how to make this thing big. The chat section is just not big enough over here. Let's see here. We got Fort Worth in the house. Larry Stinson Plumbing. Good to see you guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Katy, Texas. Thurgood Plumbing. Look, notice again. There it is. Every time someone says they're from Texas and then they say the word Texas, everything gets capitalized. Everything in their sentence gets capitalized. All their exclamation marks get capitalized somehow. Mr. Potty, Katie, Texas, baby, she says. It's Katie from Home Heroes. Katie's like, I'm not from Katy, Texas, but I am Katie. Katie's, hey, that's a killer right there, everyone. She's a killer. We had Home Heroes on here a couple shows ago. Last show. If you missed that show, you missed everything. Home Heroes is on here. Vince and Ashley Heilman. But Katie does a lot of their social media stuff, and she's a killer. She also makes apparel for them. In shop. Mississippi in the house. What's up, David White? Zach Brown, my boy. Dude, Zach, I got a video. We're going to play a video here in a little bit. You might be in it, maybe not, but it's definitely a Cornwell video. Definitely a Cornwell video. I got iced tea, homemade iced tea. Let's see here. Thurgood Plumbing says, hear from the he's here to hear from the master. Well, thank you, sir. You're the master plumber out there in Utah. Shauna says 110, baby. Hey, look, tonight we're going to talk about these 3 things, and I think they're habits that all successful people have. We're going to break them down. I want you guys to understand what they are, and I also want you to understand not how to acquire them. It's not something you can really acquire, but it's a decision. It's a decision you can make in all 3 areas, and these are real decisions. They're real decisions. In fact, they're kind of, at the Plumbing Sales Coach, our company, there are 4 things that we are for. I don't call it core values. We call it DNA. We're going to do 3 things that are going to really bleed into 4. Chimney value stackers in the house. Mike Whitcop out of Allentown, and he is a good friend of mine. He owns a chimney company out there. He called me up. I met with his team. We did a little value stacking with them. That was dope. That was dope status. Irvin in the house, my boy. Good seeing you, Fresh. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning, bro. I hop on a plane at 7. I get there at 9. I'll be in the shop at 10. Be business as usual. Get it when you get it. I think we're running a call, bro. I got you on the docket. We're going to run a call. Live from Plumbing Tech, Ryan Eakins in the house, or Eskins. Eakins. My eyesight. You could have been an Eskins, though, with some bad eyesight. Pennsylvania in the house over on YouTube. YouTube, let us know what's up. Where are you guys at here? Let's see. How do I make this? I want to kind of get these guys. Oh, yeah? You texted me a link that'll make it way better? Don't be selling me no false hope. My team's selling me hope right now. All right, well, let's do this. While I'm doing this, I'm going to multitask. Let's get into this first thing. The first kind of thing that you have to be, or that they are, is passionate. Passionate. I really want you guys to understand what I mean by passionate. I don't know if I like this. I don't know what I'm looking at. This is scary. Some new age stuff. Whoa. Let's go back to this. I was doing okay over here. Let's see. They're loving the value stacking. It's like our meeting hit a switch. Should have seen some of the value stacking that went on today in the chimney world. I love it, bro. I love it. And that's what you have to do. You have to get yourself to a place to where you can open your mind up. So the first thing that all successful people are is passionate. They're passionate. And what does passion mean? I actually looked it up here. I want to give you guys the definition real quick here. Let's see. Passionate. So when you think about this, now I want you to think about it from a standpoint of business or anything that you do in your world. It doesn't just have to be your job. But passion is having a powerful, intense feeling of enthusiasm or a strong belief in something. See, if you're not passionate about what you do, you will quit. Passionate people don't quit. They never settle. They never quit. In fact, I think of the great Kobe Bryant. How many of you guys are Kobe Bryant fans out there? If you're a Kobe Bryant fan, let me see it in the comments. Birmingham, what's up? Alabama, good to see you. We got a lot of people popping on Facebook. We got a lot of people over on YouTube. We're talking about the three things that all successful people are. These are the three attributes of every successful person. The first one is passionate. Passion is having a powerful, intense feeling of enthusiasm or a strong belief in something. And this is really important for all people who are going to try to break through the barriers of success. The barriers of success are extremely difficult, and they are very convincing when it comes to making you want to quit sometimes. But passionate people don't quit. They can't quit. See, it's an internal desire. Anything that motivates you externally will fail you. Anything that motivates you externally will fail you. But if you're motivated internally, if you're passionate about something, it's an inner desire. You think different. You decide different. You shift different. Passion will override anybody's weakness in talent or gifting. Kobe, he's all right. Let me show you guys some Kobe Bryant photos real quick. So we got a couple up here when he was young. Nope, wrong one. When he was young, number 8. There he is. There's my dude. What? Look at him in the background in awe. Then we had the transition photo. Then we got the final photo. And then he's transitioning into greatness. And we're going to talk about the 3 things Kobe was passionate about basketball. In fact, my favorite photo of Kobe, one time we was hanging out back at the office. What's up, dog? I had to go somewhere, so I had my backpack on, so. Another favorite photo I have is his counter when I dunked on LeBron. When I dunked on that fool. Dunked on that fool. Kobe the GOAT. I love it. Kobe, he's all right. You don't know what you get blocked. You're blocked. Jimmy Brown, Ocean City, Maryland in the house. Good to see you. Chris Fresh in the house. I really can't get these comments from YouTube. I really want to so bad. Oh, there we go. Oh, dang, there's a lot of comments. We got Texas does everything. Yeah, everything is bigger in Texas, right? Everything's bigger in Texas. You got to be passionate. In fact, I'm going to go on a little bit more. See, it's having a powerful, intense feeling of enthusiasm or a strong belief in something, driving you to invest significant time, energy, and emotion into it. This also oftentimes leads to perseverance through challenges and deep absorption in activity or subject. And when you think about that driving force that's internal, there's no way you can quit. There's no way. And there's no way you can fail. Because what I've learned is this, is if you keep going, you can eventually break through. And I know that people say that all the time, like, just keep going, just keep going. But I've seen it with my own eyes. I've lived it with my own life. And I've seen it in so many companies that I've coached, so many owners I've coached. You know, my kids are a part of my business now, and so they're around a lot more. And they're over here off to the side. My sons, I got 3 sons that work and help me produce this show. It's great. It's a family affair. And one of the things they've seen recently is like, oh, dang, you do more than just business coaching. Sometimes it's marriage counseling. Sometimes it's life coaching. Sometimes it's just helping someone taking a difficult call, and being there for them. And it's all these things, and it's so much more than just plumbing or service plumbing or business or transactions. It's so much more than that. And if I wasn't passionate about this, I would have quit a long time ago. I've thought about quitting 5,342 times. Just being real. But I don't quit because I'm passionate. Because I have a powerful, intense feeling of enthusiasm and a strong belief in something bigger than me. It's driving me. It drove Kobe. It drove the great ones. It drives the great ones. My man, Brandon Graham. Freshness. I love you, bro. I miss you. It's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. Matty McCourt, what's up? Rescue One Plumbing Services. Tom from PA. Value stacking is awesome. Sold a house repipe due to a leak. At a whole house PRV, and RPZ check. Commercial. Love it. Yeah, PRZs for commercial. Love the family affair. Love it too. It's like a dream come true for us. Look, I'm telling you right now, if there's one thing you want to know, and that's how to break through the crap, is just be passionate. It doesn't make it go away, but it definitely gives you a different perspective. We're all reading a book, Attitude is Everything, an old book by Tim Keller. You should check it out. Attitude is Everything. Eric Celine with the stars. Thank you. Ryan says rookie numbers, only 5,342 times. Rookie numbers. I love it. Okay, are you passionate? Like, are you passionate about plumbing? Are you passionate about helping people? Are you passionate about going into strangers' homes? Are you passionate about solving problems? In fact, what is the thing that drives you? Is it the solving the problems? Is it the meeting people? What are you passionate about? Tell us in the comments. What drives you? I'll tell you what I'm passionate about. The thing that gets me going all the time. It's not so much the plumbing, actually. It's not so much the problem solving. It's that customer experience in the home. It blew my mind when I found out that you could wake up and have a $2,000 problem. Just knock on your schedule and say, I'm taking over today. It blew my mind that someone could wake up and have a water heater go out on them. Today's the day. Cancel everything on your schedule. Cancel everything in your life. $2,800. Some of you are like, $2,800? That's cheap. Some of you are like, $2,800? That's expensive. Can't win. Falling in love with the process. You have to fall in love with the process. And the process has to match up with your passion. This isn't about plumbing. If you make it about plumbing, it's a commodity. If you make it about plumbing, it's just a commodity. There's no value in that. There is some, but it's not where the real value. The value comes in the service. The fact that you're going to go into someone's home and treat it like yours. The fact that you can be knowledgeable enough to know exactly what to do, not only for the problem right now, but the problem forever. If you start offering options and you start offering solutions based off of more than what is just right there in front of you, sometimes you'll realize that there's a deeper issue causing that. Sometimes you'll realize there's other things being affected by that deeper issue, and the customer may have future problems coming up soon. And if you can somehow show them a way to invest into their plumbing instead of letting it be that expense, well, then that changes the whole conversation. That changes everything. Passion leads to pride, I feel. Yeah, maybe like a healthy pride, a pride in what you do. I love that. See, when you're not passionate about helping people, then it leads to the other kind of pride. Helping people out, he says. That's what he's passionate about. Helping people turn a bad day into a best day. That's what David White says. Blair and Chris say falling in love with the process is what I'm passionate about helping other people, JT says. Passionate about changing the perception of service, Brandon says. I'm passionate about beating Brandon at everything we do in life. I'm just joking. I love that dude. I hang out with that dude. He's my boy. You're my boy, Blue. It's using so many different sectors in life. Realizing that it's the difference maker. Oh, man. Yeah, he says realizing that it's the difference maker. It is. Passion. Okay, what's the second point? The second point about people who are passionate, people who are successful is they're always growing. They can never know enough. They always want to get better. They're open-minded. See, when you're open-minded, here's the thing about life. There's this old song by John Mayer where he talks about the rules of life, the boundaries of life. And he says, you know, when I finally realized there was no boundaries in the real world, that's when everything changed. People that are always growing realize there's no boundaries. No one says that you're limited by anything. You don't have to be limited to anything. You're completely in control of your destiny. You're completely in control of your life. Now, I could argue that God has created all these things, and I could definitely argue that he's got a plan for you, but free will exists, and you have the ability to be whoever you want to be. You have the ability to learn and grow however you want to learn and grow, and there are some people that take it serious. One of the things we implemented with some of our younger kids that are working inside the business is we said, here's your salary, and we gave them a revenue share. And we said, look, there's two ways to make more money in this business. Number one, help us grow financially. Help us grow as a company. And you'll make more money. It's natural. But also, the way that they're raising their salary right now is we're paying them $500 for every book they learn. So they can learn one book a week. They learn that book. They got to be able to pass some tests. And if they do, we add $500 to their salary. So if they work for us for 5 years, that book was worth $2,500. They work for us for 10 years, that book was worth $5,000. We're gonna let them read a book a year, a book a week, a book every decade. I'm just joking. A book a week, and they can increase their salary by $26,000, and that's even for our 15-year-old. It's crazy. Why not? Why not? Why not make them get better to make more money, and then as they get better, I mean, it's only better for all of us. Got to always be getting better. No victim mentality. I love it. That's Blair Goulas. We're going to have Blair on the show. I just asked him if he'd come on the show. Next Plumbing. He's a crazy story. They got in the program the day they opened their shop. We'll call it plus or minus a couple of days, whatever. They got in the day they opened their business. They did $4 million in service revenue. Or they did $4 million in revenue, probably service revenue, in the end of their second year. Killers. Beautiful looking shop, beautiful looking brand, beautiful looking everything. Can't wait to have him on the show. Yes, never stop learning and growing. Soak all the knowledge you can and can't be taken away. That's Tim from Anytime Plumbing. I love your heart, brother. And going back to Blair, too, the other thing that I just want to point out is they did it in a way that was about doing it the right way. Meaning, yeah, they had a lot of success and they made money, but it wasn't because they were out there ripping people off or charging. They were actually doing it in a way that impacts the community in a positive way. I love that story. I cannot wait to share that story. Cannot wait to share that story. All right, look. So we can always grow. We can always get better. Now, some of you say always growing. Well, in height, not always growing, but in mentality, in attitude. Attitude is everything. That's the book they're reading this week. It's such a powerful book. You should read that book with them. All right, I want to go back to the first point. One more, passionate, okay? When you're passionate, you don't need to be told what to do. When you're passionate, you're not lazy. When you're passionate, you're not someone that's just going to stand by and let it. In fact, let me give you a great example of me being passionate on the job site. And my team's not involved. So I'll try it again. Let me give you guys an example of me being passionate on the job site. Yeah, we're going to grab these. Let's load these up, I guess. Oh, there's not room for both. All right, you got it. All right, and then whenever you got that one, We'll get the other stuff over there on the pallet.
Listen, we need help. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm on it. Let me just finish up this other stuff that they asked me to do earlier. I want to make sure I get everything done today and get my job done. Be a good worker. Hey, if you're not doing nothing, can you get that door? Oh, hey. Yeah, I was just getting. What's happening? All right then. Oh, I wish we had more dollies. Yeah, we're gonna grab. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Joshua Carr in the hizzy. Brandon says, what's up? My favorite is when they choose option 3 and I can give away the first option away for free if it's stacked correctly. Yeah, you got it, bro. Zach, I think you're going to be, I don't know where you're going to be on March 21st, 22nd. I think you're going to be at the event. We got an event coming up. I know some of those guys right there. You saw Andrew Cornwell. I think he's going to be at the event as well. March 21st, 22nd. We got a event live. I think we're getting close to filling up, though, on that. I want to say we're close to 100, if not over, and I think we're only doing like 120. Lucas Cena's going to be there. Home Heroes is going to be there. All the famous people are going to be there. All the big dogs. All the ones that are crushing it. Lucas was on a couple nights ago, did $1 million a year, 3 years in a row out of his truck. Plumbed it himself. Service calls, normal stuff, leaky faucets. Cornwell. Josh is going to be on there. Or Zach's going to be on there. Zach Brown. I've ran a call with Zach. Me and Zach got a crazy story. I think we ran a couple calls together. Zach's a killer. They're going to be there. $397 a seat, $997 for 3 seats. The owner comes free. That's in Indianapolis, Indiana, March 21st, 22nd. I recommend staying up in Westfield. If you get tickets, Brittany will hook you up with the list of where you should stay. I'll be there, and we'll be accessible, and I cannot wait to break that down. I'm going to show you how to basically run a call the right way to where you can just get this thing. Get in, get out. You come to the event, you leave, you'll know more about yourself. We're going to do personality assessments, and then I'm going to show you how I run my call. We're going to get in groups. We're even going to do role play. You're going to do role play with me. Some of you are going to run a call with me, and we're going to go through that scenario, and I want you guys to see exactly how to do this thing the right way. No sales, no closing tactics, no gimmicks, no discounts, just straight up coming at people just like I'm selling this right here. $397 a seat or 3 for $997. The owner comes free. Do the math. There's a discount in there, but there's not really a discount in there. I'm giving away my secrets right here. But I'm telling you, I learned it all from Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. The guy knows what he's doing. I'm telling you, this stuff works. And the best part about it is it's not new. It is done all over the world in every store you go into. They give you full retail value for every item, and you can 100% buy those items. And sometimes they package things together. And we're going to show you how to do that with plumbing the right way so that people are getting more bang for their buck, so that they can turn their expense into an investment. I'm going to show you how to do it. Lucas says, I'm there. Irvin says, I'd like to go. Irvin, I believe you will be there. Andrew says, yes, we will be there. Stephen Quinn says he's coming to the event. I wish I had more dollies, Blair said from the video. So passionate, I want to schedule every call and every customer. Yeah, and Tim, as you have found out, you cannot be all things to all people. See, in plumbing as an owner, if you're an owner listening right now, schedule strategy. See, the strategy isn't that you have to commit to every call. It's that you have to commit to every call you commit to. And there is some wisdom in that if you peel it back some. Oh, AJ Plum says, what do you say here? And if you do, grab some crayons and spruce it up. Don't live in the box. And if you do, grab some crayons and spruce. I love it. Yeah, if you're going to live in a box, you might as well have some fun. Do the work. The client wins. The tech wins. Then the company wins. That's right. Yeah, I've always believed in that John C. Max will help enough people get where they want to get, and you get where you want to get. That's why we do the show. Think about it. Giving away all this stuff for free. We're just on here teaching. We do it in our podcast. We just came back with the podcast, recorded our first episode in a while today. That's re-releasing for those that listen to the podcast. We're on Spotify. We got like 300-something episodes. We got it popping and locking. I'll be down March 6th. I'll be down in Fort Lauderdale speaking at an event for Palm Build. That's a free event, by the way. If you're down in Fort Lauderdale, you need to get a hold of them because I think they're giving final numbers, but they're doing an event down there. They're paying for the whole thing. They're flying. I'm coming in, and we're going to be speaking. They just ended up paying me directly instead of charging for the event. So that's awesome for them. Palm Build, way to do it up. Love you guys. Cannot wait to speak all day. Stephen Quinton says, my company is Right Way Plumbing, and there's a reason for that. Oh, I love that. He says, I need taught the best performance pay structure. But we teach that in the owner's program. That's not in the tech program. Let's see here. Be the best version of yourself on the call. Nothing else matters until you give Until you give them everything. That's right, Lucas. Lucas is 100% right. All right. So we got this idea of basically being passionate, but being a winner. Okay, being a champion. Being someone who doesn't quit. Someone who never settles. Someone who always wants to get better. Perfectionism will absolutely paralyze you. Analysis paralysis. But progress, this goal of being better than you were every day, every minute, every second, that drives you. Okay, I don't care. I'm not going to be as good as that person ever. Okay, I don't care, because what are we even measuring? What does it even matter? What I'm measuring is me versus me. Minute by minute, day by day. That's how I'm doing it, and that's how you should be doing it. Okay, be passionate. And then number 2, always be growing, like in this way that you're just constantly learning. It ties in with passion. It ties in with never quitting. You can't not quit and just be idle. You're either growing or dying, right? Like businesses are either growing or dying. So you got to be growing. Okay, and you always got to be getting better. Kobe Bryant, we talked about it earlier. He would practice year after year after year. I think in his 13th season, he went and reached out to Bill Russell and learned footwork as a low post player. He's not even a low post player. And that was as he was getting older. Chris Koss says Lucas Cena is the man. Chris Koss is in the house. What up? What up? Koss is a killer. $4 million of plumbing sold 4 years in a row, or 4 years in a row. And he's not a plumber. I ain't a plumber, but don't push me, he said. Tupac reference. What's the third trait? And these all kind of go together, and I'm going to summarize them for you, but you're completely invested. Look, owners, if you're listening to me right now, look at me. I don't just put this on for this is how I dressed all day. This is what I wore today. This isn't a costume. It's my livelihood. You need to be in uniform. You need to be a part of your team. You need to be out there just like everyone else. I don't mean you got to be out in the field, but you got to be willing to go out in the field. And look, for the guys that are like, well, I have 100 trucks. Okay, fine. Then you got other people that are willing to go in the field and bail people out and help people out. But you got to be a leader by example. That's my point. And everyone's got a different seat. And everyone's got a different chair, meaning everyone's got a different throne. And for you that are just, maybe you're just starting out. You're just getting started. You're an apprentice. Maybe you're at the lower end of the totem pole of the food chain on the org chart. I always say be the position you want to be, not the position you are. If you want to be an owner today, carry yourself like an owner. I don't mean go around making changes. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. But what I do mean is carry yourself in a way that's worthy of being an owner. Leaders don't get chosen and then they go through a class and then they become a leader. No, they're a leader from the beginning, and people identify and see it, and they polish. Why we get kicked out of fancy restaurants? Who, he talking about me? I don't remember getting kicked out of a fancy restaurant with you, but I'm positive it happened. I believe it. He says it's true. He's a walking brand, or he's walking branding. Yeah, everywhere I go, it's what I do. I wear them all the time. You know how many waiters across America and stuff have these bracelets? Because I'll pull them off right there and give them to them because I've got them on. And all I'm saying is be a product of the product. You don't be like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I own a company. No, you own a service plumbing. You're a service plumber. You're impacting the community by plumbing. Be who you are. Be proud of it. If you're not proud of it, if you're not passionate about it, be something else. I wear our company gear every day. Be a product of the product. Be who you say you are. Be who you're telling everyone else to be. And don't be that owner. It's like everyone be here at 7:15 and I'll be here at 10 a.m. or maybe 10:15 or 11. Or one thing my team says about me is I put in more hours than everyone. Everybody's like, well, I started a business so I don't have to. Okay, so you just basically created a business so you could have a job running it. You want to build something? Go get it. What do they say? Do what others won't do so you can do what others can't do. If you want to look at it like this, I remember once somebody says, look, there's nothing wrong. Everyone's got a different value set. I'm talking to the owner. I'm talking to the apprentices that want to be owners. I'm talking about the owners that are owners. I'm talking to the people out there that want to do more. They want to do something different. I'm talking to you right now. You can either own tickets to the Pacers or you can own the Pacers. And I'm sure there's a variance in those two. But you get the point. Yeah, Brandon says it's crazy to think that people use the same approach for everything and expect the outcome to be magical change. Like I'm right in the middle. This has been a crazy couple weeks for our company. For me personally, for our company, we're realizing some things over the last 7-8 years that, quite honestly, I kind of gave up on. I didn't think would happen, and they just started reaching out, and it's crazy. Like, I think at this event, we're forming a new relationship with Milwaukee Tools. They're going to be giving away some things at the event, some tools or whatnot. We've got some other. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so I'm just going to stop there. But we've got some big brands that are going to be a part of that, and they're gonna be giving some things away. And the thing that just keeps hitting me is like, man, I've been, for this whole time, I haven't really reached out to anybody. I don't really trust anyone on the internet. That's weird because I'm on the internet. I got trust issues, and I haven't put myself out there. We put ourselves out here with content. We give it straight to the audience, but I don't go talking to the powers to be in the plumbing industry. Just can kind of ride my own little wave. And it's been great. But here recently we've reached out. We added a position on the team, and they're reaching out. And you gotta, if you think about success in life, you gotta take your shots. You gotta take your shots. And if you want to be successful, you gotta be passionate, because you gotta be able to break through the barriers of wanting to quit, or you'll never get those doors opened up, or you'll never arrive to those patio steps of the door that you've been wanting to get into. You'll just never even make it. The opportunity will never be there. But if you keep going, those opportunities finally come. And then you get your shot. And maybe this isn't the right opportunity for you, so you missed the shot. You got to reset and do something different in life. Maybe you're in your 20s or 30s. Start getting your 40s and 50s. Like, I heard when you get to your 50s, I wouldn't know. I'm going to be 50 this year, actually. Here we go. Take 10 years off, just like that. Boom. Now I'm back to 30-something. So you just, think about how that works, right? You're persevering. You're persevering. You got to be passionate for that. And the whole time you're doing that, you better be growing. And I'll tell you where a lot of growth comes from. It comes from failures. And I know that's cliche, but it just does. It just does. You only learn one thing when you win. I don't remember who I heard that from, but you only learn one thing when you win. But you learn a lot when you lose. Yeah, I think it was Alex Hormozy. I think that's who I heard it from. I could be wrong on that, but I check him out. I'm a Russell Brunson geek, so I'm checking Hormozy out. I'm checking all that whole circle out. I love everything they're doing over there. And when you think about it like that, it's like, man, they know the right mindset. And mindset is everything. In fact, I went to a seminar and learned how the brain worked from ClickFunnels, and then I went and read this book, Soul of the Anatomy, Anatomy of the Soul. Look that book up. It's a hard listen. I'm not going to lie. It's a hard listen unless you're a brainiac or you want to go back to college. But it's worth it. And it talks about how your brain works and how it all functions and how you can overcome fears and rechange memories and rechange emotions even, and help you control your emotions. But one of the things that broke down was how the brain even works. And it's this idea that only 5% of your brain is taking in information at any given moment, and it's really not even making decisions. Seems like it is, but it's not. It's just feeding the decision machine. The decision machine is your subconscious, and that's 95% of your brain. So the majority of your brain has already had its mind made up, and the 5% of your brain is feeding new, or it's either changing thinking or it's cementing thinking, man. It's furthering it. And that's crazy to think about. So you got to kind of be on your game here, right? You got to be careful what you're putting in there. What are you feeding the subconscious? Because if you're listening to depressing music after a breakup, guess what? You're going to get more depressed. If you feel like the world hates you, and so you go listen to people talk about how much you suck, guess what? You're going to start to believe it. That's the most precious thing you have, is that brain. Protect it. People work out all the time, but do they work this out? It's crazy in service plumbing. I say when you do plumbing, that's only 50% of the job. The other 50% is service, like customer service, customer relationships, people. So dealing with sales, financial advisor. You're a engineer sometimes, problem solver. All these different things that a plumber is, service plumber is, it starts raising the value of the person. And then that's how they can bring more value in an hour. Not just because they're faster from repetition, but because they know more. They can solve more. They can communicate better. That's got value. And it all comes from passion. It all comes from growing. It comes from knowledge. And that last one of being completely all in is kind of like that Braveheart moment when you start your business. And it's like, I'm doing this. I'm not creating an environment for people to work. I'm on mission. I'm going to change the plumbing industry. I'm either going to change it because a lot of you agree or a lot of you don't. But we're going to make a decision on whether or not service is the real way to do it. Value stacking is the real way to do it. Diagnosing is. I know where I stand. And I'm going to make everyone make a decision. That's my mission. And I'm going to improve the customer experience in the home while I do it. And I got to go through you to do it. Now, I've been in the industry for a long time now. I've ran calls, ran a business, I own a plumbing company now. Irvin's on here, actually found me on the internet, got the job. It's just been a whole weird cycle for us as the word gets out who we are, the views go up. I think 1.4 million views in the last 28 days on Facebook. That's wild to me. Thousands and thousands of followers across multiple platforms. I don't even know how to upload most. I've never uploaded a TikTok video that I can think of. I stitched one time. That's not me doing that. It's my team. So you got to find the right people. And you got to be passionate. And you got to be growing so that you can lead them to something more and you can help them grow. I can't tell them to read a book I haven't read. And then you got to be completely all in. And what that does is that gives you the energy and steam, the power needed to break through any obstacle, anything that's going to keep you from what you want. See, there's a lot of things that are going to come. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people that have plans right now that they're excited about only to find out tomorrow that their plan didn't work. And if you haven't found out your plan doesn't work yet, you haven't implemented it yet. No one's plan works. Mike Tyson says everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And you're going to get punched in the mouth hard. And it's going to come in a variety of forms. And there's going to be days where you just feel like, what's the point? And you're going to feel like you're spinning your wheels. You could be an employee somewhere. You could be an owner somewhere. You could just be a human somewhere. Could be a relationship you're in. And you're going to feel like, what's the point? But you got to know your why. You got to know why you're doing this thing. Because if you don't understand your why, then you can't be passionate. And if you can't be passionate, then you can't have that inner drive that you need, that inner emotion, that inner energy that just takes you and blazes through the obstacles. So that as you're growing and you get more knowledgeable, the obstacles start to go away. Well, what I like to tell my clients, the problems just change. They never go away. But they get better. They get better, meaning the problems you have right now, your solutions in the future become your new problems. I'll give you an example. Your phone's not ringing. We're not getting any calls. We're slow. You make the phone ring. No, we're too busy. How many of you have been there? I'm way behind on comments. Okay, we got to scroll over here. It's true. Oh, it's talking about me. Yeah. All right. Where are you from? Where are you plumbing? 30K in sales today. Done right. Done the right way. Learn from the best. I love you, bro. Cost. Killing it. 30K in sales today, bro. Look at you. Look at you. Brandon says, Steven says, I'm 49, brother. Yeah, me too. I'm still 49 till June. June 4th for you birthday buyers. No, I don't need a gift unless you want to send one. Yes, if you understand how to control your brain and reprogram, you get growth that is unfathomable. Yeah. Said easy fresh. Sometimes that's for a coping mechanism to hit the low faster so you can run back up. Yeah. Sometimes. You will always have problems, he says. Absolutely. Sell nothing, service all. I love that. Fine dining plumbing experience. That's right. He says, Jimmy says, you're making too much sense right now. I know. I'm going to break the internet. Service over sales. Sales comes on their own with the proper diagnosis and building that relationship. AJ says, I like the hat. Always be serving. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You like this hat right here? Let's get him one. Did we ever get you anything, AJ? Did we get AJ Plums anything? I feel like we did one time. No, I don't feel like we did. AJ, tell me if we didn't. We got you, dog. I'm listening to the fresh. Yeah, let me know if I've ever gave you one. Let's give away some stuff real quick. Who wants something? Patrick says, I'll send you some Whataburger. Bro. Can we block him? Shauna, if you sent stars, so I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to let that one slide. Lucas said, I never got anything. Bro, Lucas, you have gotten so many things. Will you stop it, bro? You have an entire wardrobe of my gear. I'll take a hat if I'm worthy. Oh my gosh, Carmen Lacasa. Change your name, throwing me off, bro. Absolutely. Let's get Carmen Lacasa a merch pack. Let's get AJ Plums a hat. I think he wants one of these right here. Took him up. Let's get a merch pack out to it's Carmen Lacasa. Carmen, you keep I can't pronounce. I want to. Ubats. Do I get the right? Ubats. Yeah. What do you say? Option one, LeBron plus Whataburger. I would never call in for LeBron, so it would never be on any of the options. We have your stuff in our merch room. I can send out a Poseidon T-shirt to whoever wants it. Look at this, man. Everyone's giving away. And Chris Fresh some Whataburger. What is going on? Nobody wants any Whataburger over here. Got to be passionate. All right, look. How do we tie all this together? What do we do? I've got something here that I do with my team, and I thought I'd just share it with you guys. And I think it's very interesting because you got to make this stuff your own, right? Like you can't just be doing what everyone else does. You got to make this your own. I remember I was at a ClickFunnels event, 2019, and this Stacy Mark. Can't remember who it was, but she came up and she made this point. She said, "You got to be the biggest advocate for your tribe, and you're my tribe, all of you, the Fresh Force, and that's why we wear the shirt. And our mission is to always be serving, and so what we call this is the Fresh Force identity, and I want this for all of you. But here's our mission statement, and if you want to adopt it, in fact, if you identify with what I say right now, as soon as I get it, I want you to type Fresh Force in the comments and let me know like you want this badge. In fact, I'll go through and pick some of you guys, and after the show, we'll comment to you to send us your address, and I'll hit you and I'll hook you guys up with some merch gear. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna commit to this. This is the mission statement. You guys ready? So this is the Fresh Force identity mission statement. We are passionate about revolutionizing the service plumbing industry by impacting lives. Okay, we are passionate about revolutionizing the service plumbing industry by impacting lives. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to establish ourselves. Now, I wrote establish the plumbing sales coach as the service expert in service plumbing industry. But you would write, I'm going to establish myself as the service plumbing expert in whatever city you live in or whatever your market is, whatever your area is. And by impacting everyone to always be serving. So you're not just going to be always be serving, but you're going to impact everyone you work with, everyone in the industry, everyone you come across, everyone you know, every waiter, every server, every person, every human. And if you find someone that's providing amazing service, you're going to let them know. Like that's what you're about. And we're going to move this needle. Now, I want to do it in service plumbing, but I really want to do it in the whole world. Now, so what's the DNA of that? What's the 4 things we have to do in order to do that? Well, here they are. We have to be completely invested. Sound familiar? We have to be completely invested. Effort, time, focus, and energy. We're all in. Number 2, we're always growing. We are always growing. We can never know enough, and we're always learning. Number 3, we never settle. Good is the enemy of great. There's always another level. And number 4, we never quit. Failure is not an option, period. Now, to take that a little bit further, for those of you that want to be a leader inside of that community, if you want to be a leader inside, not just someone in the community, but a leader, then here's your challenge. This is the leader mindset challenge. If we are the example, then how much more do we have to be? Meaning, if you're the example, then how much more do you have to be? How much more passionate? How much more all in? How much more never settle? How much more always growing? How much more never quit? Who's with me on this? I want to see in the comments, Fresh Force, if this is something that you feel like you can embody. Larry says you got to be passionate about it. If so, it falls into place when you do. Trust the system. Yeah, he's speaking from experience. Always growing. Fresh Force. Fresh Force. Fresh Force. Love it. Gonna be the freshest. I want to make impact, always be serving. Absolutely. This is how you set yourself apart. I really can't believe I can't believe I can't see as many comments as you guys. I'm not seeing any of those. I just saw you flash all those up. How can I save this video for reference? You can come back and watch it for 30 days on the wall, and then Facebook deletes it, unfortunately. It's on YouTube forever. So you go over to YouTube. I learn stuff in the moment. I'm always growing. I'm always learning. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, let's put this into practice, okay? We go into people's homes. It's none of this, like, chip on our shoulder, like, they owe us anything. They don't owe us nothing, and I get it. Oh, they're cheap, Chris. They don't value me, Chris. I don't care. That's my one chance to meet that person. Let me tell you, like, anyone that's ever been out to eat with me, and I probably shouldn't even tell you guys this, but here's my whole little MO. I'm going to pay the bill, not because I'm trying to pay the bill all the time, but because I can tip the waitress or waiter, and that's my one chance in life to cross paths with them and to make any kind of impact. And so I'm going to try to be an example of the example, and I'm going to hook them up. And anyone that's been out with me knows I do that, and that's just what I do, and I would do it for them so they can be impacted to go be better. Whether, I don't care, I don't need it to be attached to the service. I don't need it to be attached to the quality of food. I don't need to be attached to nothing. I'm going to make my impact. They got their shot to make an impact. They either take it or they don't. Same with the restaurant. When you go into someone's home, the customer can either treat you great or they can't. Changes nothing for you. It does nothing to the responsibility you bear to go into their home and to solve their problem. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen on that? Yeah, 100%, right? Because that's a responsibility. It's a burden we bear. It's a burden we bear, and it's a privilege we have, too. It's an opportunity. So we go in there and we provide that service. And the other thing we do is we diagnose thoroughly. Okay, if we're passionate about our trade, we're not just going to go in there and broke fix. I know I get killed on the internet about broke fix. What's a broke fix and why no on-call and all this crazy stuff? Well, you know, these videos get chopped up and taken out of context a lot of times. I'm usually in a much bigger speech pattern. It's not like I'm making these videos most of the time for the internet. There's a couple we make, but most of them are just being chopped up. And here's the overarching theme. You have a responsibility. You're the only expert that's going to go into that home. No different than a doctor. The doctor should not be relying on my great ability to communicate symptoms to them so they catch every little thing. No, they got to run scans. They got to do tests. They got to draw blood. And a plumber needs to take pressure, check water condition, consider the age. I mean, it's not really any different than a doctor, right? I tell you right now, you go to the doctor for a toothache, or it's not a doctor, that's a dentist. We're already off track. You go to the doctor for knee pain, I'll go to the doctor for chest pain. Both of us are going to get our weight taken. Both of us are going to get our height taken. Both of us are going to get our blood pressure taken. Both of us are going to get our pulse taken. Both of us are going to get our temperature taken. Both of us are going to get our ear tickled with that little thing they shove up in there. You know, I think what happens is we get trapped in, well, that's how we've always done it. And it's such a dangerous place of mediocrity lives there. Mediocrity thrives there. Complacency is at home there. It's where it dwells. It's like, this is my. I mean, it didn't just make a kid. It built a city there. Like, you can live in town complacency or town mediocrity. You got to want to be more, strive to be more. He says, don't go to the doctor, just be a man. I mean, I will say, no one ever had anything till they went to a doctor or a hospital, right? It's like, yeah, guess what? I went to the doctor today, and guess what they told me? Like, well, why'd you go? They wouldn't have told you. But we gotta diagnose thoroughly. We gotta make sure the customer, it doesn't happen to them again. I mean, I've seen $250 plumbing problems cause $10,000 worth of, like, wet carpet or damaged flooring or damaged ceilings or damaged cabinets. Okay, little 200. I mean, how many of you remember the era of the saddle valve? 2016, every house had to have one. It was 2008, 2009, 2000, probably all the way back into the 90s. Everyone was like, oh, you don't have a saddle valve? Let's install one. The saddle valve looked like an upsell in the 90s when you go around 2016, you're like, dang, did they just put one in for no reason? I mean, how many of you came across a saddle valve that went to a little 3/8-inch line that was just capped and went to nothing? That thing leaks, destroys a home. Just destroys a home. Like, oh, you bought the option 3, it came with the saddle valve. I mean, seriously. All right, speaking of mediocrity. Thank you. I'm glad. See, we all learn. I just learned the real word. If you want to live in that space, then raise your hand. The problem is that they won't raise their hand. They won't even raise their hand. It's like by definition, right? This is like, Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm just gonna do it to the fullest because why not? I don't want to just waste my time. I already probably don't want to be there digging the hole. He says, what? I still have them on my truck. JC Gooden. Got like a truck of them running around town. He's like, oh, you get a saddle valve. He's like the Oprah. You get a saddle valve. You get a saddle valve. Yeah, I mean, we need to diagnose. And this idea that it's only happening over here, no, it's happening in the whole house. Whatever it is. I'm not saying everything needs to be replaced in the house. I'm just saying it's happening in the whole house. If you go to a home and they got high water pressure and you don't check the water pressure, how can you warranty the thing you're there for? How can you consider any other damage it's doing? How can you protect them from future damage? When you slap a PRV on the system, now you got to look at an expansion tank. You probably charge $300 for an expansion tank, but you probably don't charge for an expansion tank when you do a water heater. See what I'm saying? So now the water heater has a natural $300 discount built right into it because you're doing an expansion tank. Meaning they're already $300 in, but for $2,700 they can get the water heater and expansion tank, but they can never get the water heater for $2,400 later. So now they're gonna pay $2,700 later, even if they already have an expansion tank. Now they're gonna be out $3,000. So it's just got a little. In fact, I used to tell plumbers like, hey, if you're pulling the toilet and you're running the camera, okay, granted, it's a 2-year-old toilet, 3-year-old, 4-year-old toilet. Yeah, don't do this. But if it's a 15, 18-year-old toilet and they already don't like the toilet, isn't the price of the pull and reset built into the price of the new toilet? Meaning when you sell a new toilet, it comes with the install. Also comes with the removal of the old toilet. So if you're going to charge $250 or $300 for a pull and reset, isn't the new toilet on sale now, kind of? Like in theory? Meaning the second you pull that toilet and you start running that camera, it's only $500 more or $600 more for just to put the new toilet down. And are we communicating that? Are we diagnosing that? Are we letting customers know? And then last but not least is value stacking, options. Value stacking for me is intelligent options. So we got to build that relationship. We got to go on these homes. We got to diagnose. We got to be passionate about what we do, or we wouldn't want to do any of it. We got to be completely all in. We got to be thorough. We got to care. Yeah. Yeah, that's why a service plumber makes $100,000 a year. That's why you can go into a home and communicate value, and all of a sudden they don't want to make the $350 repair. They want to make the $6,000 or $7,000 investment into a few random things or a bunch of connected things as it relates to their plumbing system. Back to those vitals, back to diagnosing the water pressure, blood pressure, all that stuff. Like this is where it all ties in. And if you don't package them in a way that makes sense, like I'm not going to do a bunch of work in my home at full retail. I'll just wait till it has to be done. But if there's some sort of reason, it's kind of like if you go buy a Red Bull at the 7-Eleven, it's $3, $4. If you go buy a 12-pack or a 24-pack from Costco, it's considerably cheaper for each Red Bull. Are they discounting it? No. It's their price. Costco's price, 24-pack. It's whatever their price is. Are you saving money? Yeah. It doesn't have to be discounted for you to save money. You can be smarter how you buy things. And if you're smarter how you buy things in volume, in bulk, then you can save money. I've got 8 kids. I know all about it. You guys buy milk, I buy cows. And when you grasp that and you can present that to a customer, because they don't know that. They don't know how your plumbing system pricing, they don't know how stuff works. They just know they don't want to get ripped off and sold a bunch of stuff they don't think they need. But if you can go in there and actually show them and educate them in a way and then show them how to invest in their plumbing, yeah, you're like Lucas. You're doing 1.2 out of your truck, making 150, 140K, whatever he said he made. It's wild. It's a wild theory. It's a wild phenomenon. It's almost as if people will pay more for quality. Says I buy the farm. If you're a service plumber and not clearing 200K, then you need to assess your process under the assumption your call volume is legitimate. They're scared of the options. Yeah. I think Sydney's saying that the plumbers are scared to offer the options. I think. Start selling mitigation. Stop giving away $10K to get a $200 gift card. Look, I'm telling you right now that the whole thing is proven in the restaurant industry. That's why we say, and Irvin said earlier, fine dining service plumbing is that's what we say we do. We change plumbing companies from fast food restaurants to fine dining restaurants. And it's a different mentality as an owner. It's a different process. It's a different strategy. You're after something different. If you're just a plumbing company, you're after volume in work, volume in calls. If you're after service, you're after quality, maximizing the table, maximizing the call, giving people more for their money. You know, restaurants will come out and cook stuff tableside. Fast food, they just throw the window at your car as you drive by. It's different. I don't really want to hang out at the fast food restaurant, to be honest. I'm not trying to spend an hour and a half there. At the fine dining restaurant, if you've gone with me, they're like, all right, hey, Chris, time to, it's just me and you left in the building. Oh, I sent the staff home 2 hours ago. Or one time, some of you guys came into town. We were doing an event. I think some of you, I don't remember what happened, but some of you were in town, and they opened the restaurant for you guys. Man, I don't know. Yeah, Cost says you're doing a disservice if you're not offering options. And then Brandon says you're effectively hurting the client, industry, and company. 3 strikes, you're out. That's exactly right. Both of them are right. They both know what they're talking about. They're both killers. Guys, look, man, you got to be passionate. Okay, you have to have that inner drive. You have to be all in. You have to always be growing. And then you have to never quit. Okay, if you ever get to a point to where you want to quit, go back to your why. If you don't have a why, you're toast. You're toast. Because then it's going to all crumble underneath you. Build it on a why, not a money stream. Build your ambitions on a why. In fact, I told my kids, all of them, look, do I go to college? Do they go to college? Should they go to school? I don't know. Here's what I do know. Figure out what kind of impact you want to make in the world, and then work that backwards. And if that requires college, great. If it doesn't, great. But find out who's done what you want to do and follow those footsteps. You can learn through experience from others. Figure out your why. Become passionate about it. And then go advocate the strongest and biggest you can for that why. I love you guys. Remember, serve your community and everything, not just plumbing. Have a great night. If you want more tips about marketing, sales, and business, type subscribe in the comments and get alerts about future shows. Also, check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and other major platforms. Thanks again for watching The Fresh Approach.
Fresh.